Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. Last time, we discovered that Terra actually wound up in this wretched hive of scum and villainy known as Zozo. But she's safe and sound. She was just kind of overwhelmed by, as Rama the Esper put it, a power that she didn't know that she had. So she's resting up. In the meantime, we also learned from Rama that the Empire is holding a lot of the Espers in a research facility, a Magitech research facility. So our next goal to progress the plot is we're going to head over there and we're going to try to free them. In the meantime, we've been left with 4 crystals of Magicite, 4 Espers, including Rama, Kate Sith, Kieran, and Siren. Yeah, I did forget Siren for a moment there. So we're going to once again split up. There are 2 party members who are going to be mandatory here. Shadow is going to leave us. We can go down to Nar should we want to re-recruit him. But for the time being, it's fine. Instead, we're going to fill out our party with the Figaro brothers, with Sabin and Edgar. And the other 2 who have to come with us for this upcoming scenario are Celes and Locke. Locke is trying to not so subtly disguise his feelings for Celes, so he plays the chivalrous role and volunteers to come along to protect her. Celes kind of has to go on this mission for reasons that'll become more apparent in due time. We're going to go back to Jador and see if they can help us. Before we leave Zozo, though, there are 2 things that we want to do. First is to actually equip our new party, including kitting them out with Espers. Also, I want to throw the Brigand Gloves and the Thief Bracer on Locke, so he will double his chances of stealing, and he'll also get access to the Mug command, which is like an attack and steal command rolled into one. But about the Espers. In Final Fantasy VI, each character can have an Esper equipped in their skills menu. While an Esper is equipped, you get a set of magic AP when you level up that contributes to teaching that character a set of spells specific to that Esper. It also lets you summon that Esper in battle. And whenever you level up, you get certain stat boosts depending on that Esper as well. Like equipping Kate Sith will give you extra magic every time you level up. Not all Espers have that. 3 out of our 4 have that boost, though. Matter of fact, why don't we show a couple of new things off? Let's see, I'm still level 14 with Sabin, so I don't have access to his Rising Phoenix yet. We'll get that before the end of the episode, though. In the meantime, yeah, we have the Mug command. We steal a set of eye drops from him. This is where I start to really like Locke once you get access to Mug. He's still not going to be like my big staple character for a while, but I do find him to be quite a lot more usable now. So Aura Cannon and his Suplex are still going to be generally the best ideas. His Suplex is going to start to overshadow Aura Cannon, unless the enemy is heavily physically dependent. The second thing that we're going to do pertains to the time. Everyone in Zozo tells you the hour is this, or the minute hand should be here, or so on. But what we know about the people of Zozo is that they're all scumbag liars, and you can't trust them. So whatever they tell you, it's wise to do the exact opposite. Doing that little puzzle normally requires you to talk to everybody in the town to eliminate all of the possibilities, which is a huge pain in the ass. But just so you know, the hour hand should be on 6, the minute hand should be on 10, and the second hand should be on 50. Once you eliminate everything that you know is not correct by talking to everybody, that unlocks this secret staircase back here. Also, I love that as a counter to you stealing from those things, they will steal like a huge chunk of your gil, which you get back at the end. And what you get for doing all of this is a chainsaw, a new tool for Edgar, and a bunch of enemies show up, so we get to demonstrate what this chainsaw looks like. This new tool for Edgar. So perfect. What a great opportunity they presented us with. And yeah, since we're here, we can also summon... Yeah, let's summon Kate Sith. Oh my god, it's so good. And Katarine isn't going to do too much for us. What it does is cause confusion. Before the end of this LP, we are going to be seeing what all of the other Esper's main abilities are. Just like all of the Guardian Forces in Final Fantasy VIII. So with all that out of the way, that ghost up there... Yeah, it's a hill guy, I guess. Let's just deal with this. The ghost at the front of the town will teach you a little bit about the Espers. He'll pretty much just recap the tutorial that I just gave you all on how the Espers in this game work. How equipping them works, their abilities, and what they confer to you. So now we're going to be heading back to Jador. And we're here. So remember that mansion at the very north end of town? That is where we want to head. Actually, before I do that, let me come right down to the item shop since I have lock on me. I remember now that I never bought his new weapon, the Moonring Blade, which is going to be a pretty big upgrade for him, I think. Yeah. Okay. It's definitely better than the Thief's Knife we have on him. And every little bit of damage is going to help. We will, at some point, have a pretty tough fight coming up. So we want to come back to Owzer's Mansion. There's a new NPC here named Impresario. And remember how the guy in the upper right confused Celes with this opera singer named Maria before? Well, Impresario does that too. Actually, I don't know if that's supposed to be his name or if that's his title. It might be something opera-related. It's kind of a gap in my Italian. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be an Italian word. Impresario. Oh, wait. That might be a spoiler. Okay, never mind. I want you for my wife. I'm coming for you, the wandering gambler. My dear Maria. So, this guy's gonna give us the lowdown on who this gambler is. Here we go, Blackjack playing, world-traveling, casino-dwelling, free spirit. His name is Setzer. Oh man, his face is all scarred up. That's Setzer, owner of the world's only airship, the Blackjack. So, the only airship in the world, you say? If we could get the airship, we could get to the Empire in no time. So it's a good thing that we just happened to decide to come back and seek the help of the people of Jador, right? Because they gave us a pretty good lead. Pretty good lead on how we're going to cross to the southern continent. One way you reach the Empire is by air. Yep. Yeah, so even that guy knows. I think that's the guy who used to tell you about the class divide in the town. But once you come to him after Zozo, he gives you that hint. And then there is one more little bit of dialogue about Setzer somewhere in town. I think it's in the inn. I think either the innkeeper or this guy. The gambler likes flashy shows. He's always at the opera. I think he likes the beautiful divas. Yeah, that's one of the many, many townspeople who will complain about the fucks in Zozo. But now I'll give you a hint about Setzer. So the opera house that we want to head to is actually down here. It's that point of interest at the very southern tip. And we now have a new blitz command for Sabin that we learned on our way here. It's the Rising Phoenix, which is a half circle to the right motion. Or if you don't have access to diagonals, it's left, left, down, right, right. And it's his very first and very powerful multi-target blitz. So we just want to follow this out here, and we reach the Opera House of Jador. Quite a ways out of the way. Especially with all the monsters inhabiting the forest and the plains in between. Wonder how anyone actually gets down to the Opera House. They seem a little too hoity-toity to do the fighting themselves. Maybe they all go like some kind of protected caravan with retainers like Cyan. So remember, Impresario is in a bit of a tizzy. Because either Setzer is going to show up and kidnap Maria, or he's going to have to cancel the show, and either way, that's bad for his business. Dude, I really, really like this music. There's a song just like this in Final Fantasy IX that's super good, and Final Fantasy VIII. I think the melody of this is a recurring melody. Whenever you get to like a big stage play or an opera or some kind of theater performance in a Final Fantasy game. I'm a former general, not some opera floozy. What the hell? It's great. So she storms off, kind of huffs off, but you hear her practicing. Me, 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 me. Not the greatest singer in the world. What a dick. Oh, and look at that. Remember we saw the portrait hanging up in Owzer's mansion of Ultros? Well, Ultros is here in the flesh. Last time we fought him was on the Leave the River. You didn't think he was going to become an important recurring character, did you? Well, he did. One of the weirdest characters. Not just a normal monster, Ultros. Oh, man. Like, aside from the main conductor there, I think this looks super impressive, especially, like, the way they emulate parallax motion. I think it looks fantastic. The whole opera scene coming up is actually quite impressive. And I'm not going to interrupt the opera scenes too much, because I think this is technically quite beautiful. So while Impresario's narrating, I'll just say that the scope is grand. The music here is actually one of the most impressive things about this scene. And apparently it's about East Coast, West Coast gangster rap feuds. Draco, the West's great hero, thinks of his love, Maria. Is she safe? Is she waiting? Let's get on with the opera. So now that you can actually hear that, I think you can understand what I find technically so beautiful and amazing about that. Because obviously that vocal track is synthesized, but it's done with the melody in such a way that it actually sounds like singing. You can kind of fool your brain into hearing the lyrics in that. And eventually it would become feasible to add a vocal track to the game's, to the system's sound chip. But in the meantime, like, that's the closest approximation you can get, and it's so fucking cool that they pulled that off. Like, that is, the opera scene in this is a real technical display. It's just very grand. So we get control of Locke for a little bit, because Locke is going to go and check up on Celes, make sure that she's ready for her big scene, taking the place of Maria. And she is... actually don't remember where her dressing room is. Is it the room that she stormed off into before? Let's check that out. I think it's to the right and up here. Yeah, this must be her dressing room. Whoops. He gets all embarrassed. There was an album for Final Fantasy VI which includes a full orchestral arrangement, including an Italian opera singer performing the lyrics to the song, by the way. The song is called the Aria di Mezzo Carattere, or the Song of Half Character. This aria is also a variant of Celes's main theme, which we actually haven't heard yet in its entirety. But we will. So Celes is gonna check the scene, the script. My heroes are far away now. Love goes away like night into day. I'm the darkness, you're the stars. Our love is brighter than the sun. For eternity, from me there can be only you, my chosen one. Must I forget you? Must I forget you? What shall I do? I'm lost without you. And then this is giving her her blocking. It's important that you check this out, and I'll show you why. Yeah, make sure you check the script before you send her out to do her performance. Now, if you pick the wrong response... you blow the whole opera. She flubs the line entirely, and it ends the opera completely, and it kicks you out of the opera house. And you come back the next day to talk to Impresario. And he calls your performance yesterday awful and tells you you only have 3 more chances to get it right. So there are 4 things in total that you need to do right. There are 3 multiple choice sections in there where you get 1 of 2 responses you can choose from. And then you have to take the flowers up the stairs to the balcony and toss them off. So you have to make sure you get all the right responses. And it tells you right in the script, so you kind of have to have a decent memory. I actually forgot there was one more thing that you have to do, which is you have to dance with Draco. Or you have to kind of follow him around and simulate dancing. Just slide the sprites around. So finally we get the letter that Ultros was trying to get us to read. He's gonna somehow ruin the opera. Now it's up to Locke to go and report that to Impresario, and then it's up to everybody to go and figure out how Ultros is planning on ruining it, and to stop him from doing so. I love it. He knows exactly how long it's gonna take him to push this big, heavy sandbag off the rafters. And that precise amount of time is 5 minutes. So we have 5 minutes to go find our way up there and stop Ultros from pretty much killing Celes with a big, heavy sandbag. Or, I don't know, some kind of heavy weight? An iron weight? So we're gonna come up here. We couldn't get past him before. The stagehand wouldn't let us by, but now he will. We flip this switch on the far right up against that wall. And then we're gonna go to the exact opposite side to get access to the rafters. What a tremendous sense of urgency there is in this music too. You can't waste too much time either. Also, if you hit that switch and then you proceed past the stagehand, you fall into a pit, which wastes a lot of your time. So one of the things that makes the timer here just the teensiest bit tight is that you have a... Oh, that was the wrong one. What a waste. The timer ticks down here while you're in battle, while you're in the menu, and there are a bunch of these patrolling rat enemies you have to fight up on the rafters. You can avoid a couple of them, especially if you take this slow, but sometimes it's not worth slowing down just to avoid the fights. Especially because they can patrol in pretty random patterns. So the two gray ones, they will continuously act as reinforcements. The gold one is the one that you ideally want to target down. Ah, shit. Should've just used a drill. That probably would have ended this quicker. But that is him dead. Good. God, I like that Rising Phoenix animation. And if I'm lucky, I won't have to deal with any more rats. If I'm unlucky, I get this one last one. And then I think that should be it. Either way, I'm probably going to have at least 1 or 2 minutes to spare. It's tight looking, but ultimately, you should be okay. The real danger here is going to be Ultros. Ultros can be quite a hard fight the second time around. Just like if you were unprepared for him the first time, he can surprise you in nasty ways. He's much worse this time. Much, much, much worse. But we'll get to that. Let's drill down on that, and we should have a mostly straight shot to Ultros from here. Let's see, I should be able to get past that one, and we are good. Let's just heal up real quick, exhaust some of our many, many potions that we still have left. Very cheap restoratives. And I'm taking a little bit of a risk here. I do have at least one peace ring. Peace ring stops you from getting confused. But I think I should be okay either way. Disaster. If the two heroes are flat and the opera's over. The first time I played this, I thought my Super Nintendo had just locked up, because it takes such a long time for anything to happen. But eventually, Locke makes his way to his feet, and everybody's able to get up. So in this fight, we will have access to everybody except for Celes. I love Impresario. Shit-talking Locke's acting. Alright. And one of the most appropriate scenarios to have music in. Oh, yeah, and I forgot about how good this background looks for this fight. Yeah. And Ultros is still really talkative. I don't necessarily like... Oh, shit, I forgot that misses Ultros. Oh, it's gonna be a waste of an attack, and he's gonna counterattack with Acid Rain on just Sabin. We get one summon for Rama, and Rama's gonna be quite good in this fight because his Judgment Bolt is lightning oriented. It's gonna do 800, quite good. It's gonna do way more than Edgar's chainsaw would normally do. Aura Cannon's gonna be our best bet. Ooh, the Acid Rain 2-hit shot him. I wasn't careful. Ultros, like I was saying, is nasty this time around. Also, I don't think I have Locke in the back row. And that's an unlucky miss on the chainsaw. Ooh, this is just going... Woo! Oh man, this is going bad. Could this be a game over? I don't think it will be. But I have to... No, actually, I don't have to get lucky, because the next things that Ultros is going to do, he's going to do a couple of debuff songs, party-wide debuffs, including level 3 Confuse. I do have to get somewhat lucky for that to miss, but with all the bad luck I've already gotten, I feel like I deserve that. So normally I would be worried about Ultros immediately killing the person that I just Phoenixed down, but he still has a couple more of his songs to rotate through. This is a status effect called Imp, and it unfortunately hit both of them. Imp is going to take away certain special action commands, including magic, and it weakens your attack dramatically. But he used it after I'm rezzing Sabin. Ooh, hold on. This might be even worse. Shit. Sabin's confused. So hopefully Sabin kills himself. Really, what I'm hoping for right now is just to kind of weather the storm, get through some of these status debuffs, and stabilize. That's what I really have to focus on doing right now. Otherwise, this is going to get bad. He's going to miss both of them. This is why the Peace Ring is really good for this fight, since I am starting to stabilize, at least with Locke and Edgar. Should start healing up a little bit, and maybe throwing around a few green cherries. Green cherries are the items that cure the Imp status. Ooh, who's that hitting? It's either Ultros or Sabin? Oh good, that didn't hit Locke and Edgar. Okay. It's best to have just confused characters die. Am I out of Phoenix Downs too? How am I out of Phoenix Downs? Oh well. We can do this perfectly fine with just Locke and Edgar, but we're doing this in a more ugly way than I would like, and we're kind of fighting a war of attrition here. We did put the black belt on him, so that's a little bit of extra damage, which is nice. You saw he also got the hockey mask on with his chainsaw. And we have had 2 really bad misses with the chainsaw. Yeah, let's just focus on... I really can't believe I'm at Phoenix Downs. Let's just focus on this now, since we're stable enough. So the whole deal with the fight is that Ultros will, I think it's every 2 turns or every 3 that he takes, he swaps position, and which position he is in on the stage determines the order of the moves that he's going to use. And he rotates through a set number of positions. So he's actually very, very predictable. It's just that all of his status effects are super nasty, and he still is hitting pretty hard. So it's not the best position to be in, especially now that Edgar is imped. But we're just gonna have to deal with that. It's actually not the end of the world. Because we finally beat him. There are ways for that to go worse. As nasty as that fight looked, that can go worse. It can also go much better. Ultros, whenever you fight Ultros, it tends to come down to how much preparation you did for him. I did really the bare minimum. Like, I didn't throw Locke in the back row. I think I might have even had Sabin in the front row. And I didn't have a Peace Ring on. Peace Ring really would have sped that up quite a bit. And it would have made for less of a close call. But boy, that second fight it can be fun. If not a little scary. Let's move on from that, though. Because we have what we've been waiting for. Oh man, I love this background. Oh man. Setsu's come, he has taken Celes away, and he hasn't realized what our ruse was. He hasn't realized that this isn't Maria. And since the ship hasn't gotten quite airborne yet, we have some stowaways. Edgar, Sabin, and there's Locke. Yeah, apparently Celes did quite a good job, even though she isn't an opera floozy. And Setsu's on his way back. Oh, he finally figured it out. Vector. We have to get to Vector. Man, that's some fucking audacity. Kidnap someone and be like, no, get off my ship, please. You're not who I thought I was kidnapping. Go away. So he is Darby, the notorious gambler. Wish he was nearly as cool as Darby. Actually, I don't like Setzer that much. But he does give us access to something really, really cool. And this music is also fan-fucking-tastic. So he hasn't necessarily agreed to help us yet, but he's also not averse to being talked into doing something. Because, like he said, the Empire has been bad for business. Ever since they started putting everybody under siege, he hasn't had as much activity going on up here on the Blackjack. There is a very famous mistranslation, one of many in the original SNES version, where he says the Empire's activity's actually been great for business, for no reason whatsoever. Completely just annihilates all of his characterization and any sense of character motivation for him to help. Okay, so he wants to marry Celes, and then he will agree to help. But Celes is a counteroffer. He's a gambler, so maybe a coin toss will appeal to him. Heads, they don't get married, and Setzer has to help. Tails, he doesn't have to help. Celes will marry him. We've seen this coin once before as well, remember? It's heads. Celes wins. Yeah, we saw it in the optional cutscene when we rested with the Figaro brothers back in Figaro Castle. It's how they determined whether or not they would go their separate ways. How low can you get? I love it. Yeah. It's a two-headed coin, and he tosses... I don't know if that's supposed to be the coin or the chip that he's talking about in that line, or if the chip is just proverbial. I think it's a cool response nonetheless. Guess what we get? We get an airship. We are at that point in the game where we have access to an airship. So Locke makes a good point. We will stick out like a sore thumb in this giant floating casino. So we're going to land nearby, but we're still going to make our way down to the southern continent. Looking at this even today, I still think this is impressive as hell for the Super Nintendo. Like, I think Mode 7 as a thing has actually aged incredibly well. It's only grown to impress me more with time. And that looks familiar, doesn't it? It kind of looks like what we saw near the beginning of the game in that flashback. And we're here. So we're going to take a second and rest in the town of Albrook. And that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.